Hey everyone, Blaze here. Welcome to my anime collection video for 2023. It's actually been about 7 years, just under, since I last did a just straight up normal, relatively quick, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but relatively quick overview of my collection. Um, Frankly, I haven't wanted to do one because my collection has just been a bit of a mess for a while. I mean, this all looks quite neat, but yeah, my collection actually has an overflow problem, which starts down there. It's double stacked. It's because I've got art boxes behind those sets, and then I've got all these boxes that are filled up with anime. It is my shame, but it is what it is. I've just been putting off buying furniture. But anyway, we'll get into what those boxes contain later. It's mainly shonen stuff because I just didn't have the space for it. So yeah, the collection looks quite a bit different in many ways, but also pretty similar to the last few times I showed it. But anyway, let's get into it. So I like to store all my limited editions and art boxes up top here, and I've got some pretty cool sets. We've got the Evangelion Platinum Edition, Macross in the art box, multiple editions of Razafon. I've got the Razafon Blu-ray box all the way up there because my Mecha shelf is basically full to the brim at the moment. I've got Megazone 2 free in the art box up there. I've also got the Animego Kickstarter release. That's a somewhat newer edition, Space Captain Herlock in this Odyssey. In the art box, I have well, you'll see later, I've got a compact edition as well, but I had the opportunity to buy the art box edition and I went for it. Last Exile, actually owned that twice, that same edition in the art box, as you'll see later, for no reason at all. Yeah, Bakuno, Escaflowne, the Berserk set, that's pretty cool, Box of War, Cowboy Bebop Perfect Sessions, the Utena set, which goes for insane money now. I think last time I showed that set, my art box overview video, it was still relatively new. Now it goes for crazy money these days, so I'm happy to have that 20th anniversary edition Blu-ray box set. Claymore art box, As Among the Dial, Hibernate Redmate in the art box. These are all, the way these are all stacked up here is not how I want to display them, but it is just a case of they fit where I can fit them. That's just where they live for now until I get more shelving. I do have a lot more room for shelving, so it's not a big deal. It's just a case of I have not prioritized buying shelving. Anyway, we've got Blood Plus and the big scary speed racer head, which talks, if I can find the button. Wait a minute. There we go. This is pretty cool. Yeah. And here, this was dark, and I remember last time I did the art box overview video, I had to hold a camera phone and have a light. But now I installed some very cheap. This literally cost me 99p. Ready? Boom. Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to pause the video and switch the white balance out. There, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, this literally cost me 99p. It's just in this cupboard. There's just some literal Christmas Poundland lights, like LED lights, and here's the little two AA batteries, and you can just switch it on and off from there. And yeah, it works an absolute treat. So yeah, up here I've got the Basilisk wooden art box, which is pretty cool, and the Trinity Blood one, which is also cool. Zipang in the art box, which is a pretty awesome series. Unfortunately not finished, obviously. Pumpkin Scissors, Gungrave, Fully Kuri, and then the Goliath that is the Legends of Galactic Heroes collector's edition. Obviously cost a small penny. I've now seen all of Legends of Galactic Heroes. It was pretty epic. I had a real roller coaster ride with that series where I wasn't initially into it, and I was like, man, I'm enjoying aspects of this, but it's sort of really hard to keep on top of. It's obviously a lot of politics and stuff, and it's just, yeah, a lot of jargon in the subtitles, and it's just kind of hard to stay on top of. There's a lot of characters to remember, yada yada yada, but eventually, about halfway through, I got on top of it. I felt like I knew who everyone was, I knew what everything meant, and from there I absolutely loved the series and ended up giving it a 9 out of 10 overall. I've seen absolutely everything in that set. That's the Darker Than Black Blu-ray Premium Edition in the stupid, I don't even know what you call that, packaging. We've got Patamarin Verde, I've got Escaflowne, the movie Ultimate Edition on DVD, And I got the what is that set called? The Ultimate Vision? Is that what that says? I can't remember. Ultimate Edition. Perfect Vision is what that says. I should try just using my eyes rather than looking through the camera screen. Yeah, so I got that on DVD and I've got it on Blu-ray twice. So yeah, I own Escafoni a few times. In fact, yeah, there's the Blu-ray there. That's the American Blu-ray set, and obviously over here I have the UK version. And what we got? Black Lagoon Ultimate Edition or whatever. Chrono Crusade. And I've got we've got Hellsing up there, and then we've got my Fullmetal Alchemist, basically the original series collection, as well as the Durara lunchbox. I have the set that was inside that just on the shelf. And I've got what's that? Giovanni's Island, isn't that called? I've still not watched that. I remember talking about that, like, I don't know. I've owned that set for like a decade and I've not watched it. It's only a movie as well. It's one of my failings. I really should have watched that long ago. I'm pretty sure I enjoy it as well. It's ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, Full Alchemist 2003, it was my first anime, so it means a lot to me. So I got the original DVD volumes in the tins, which is how I originally watched it, and then the Funimation Collector's Edition Blu-ray, and then the UK Insane Gate of Truth Blu-ray. So just before we go to the shelves, I thought I'd just show these since they're here. This is my Slayers complete plush set. I think these came out in like 1994 or 5 from Banpresso. I'm guessing 95. Yeah, I really love these. They're some of my absolute favourite things in my collection. And then we've got my Galaxy Express Captain Harlock, like Leiji verse plush collection, of which I actually have multiples of most of these. They're all in a bag. It's just basically a case of like I was trying to get the complete set and ended up buying like multiple incomplete sets, and as a result I ended up getting doubles and triples of some of them. Like I'm pretty sure I have like 3 Conductors and like 3 Harlocks, 3 Maytals, 3 Emeraldus or something. It's kind of ridiculous. Then we got some keychains, some big wind up, Midori Days. That's actually from Dust Elysian Tale, one of my favourite video games. Then we got my Kyo Caramel plushies, which are really nice, as well as just some random keychains that I've gotten over the years. Some Alucard Under the Bridge ones, and then just a bunch that came with like multiple like limited edition sets. Like what's that one? I have no idea. Just a bunch of random things. Then we've got some Ghost Sweeper Mikami plushies as well. So yeah, and oh yeah, here's an example of me having doubles. There's another Harlock, and we got Meow from. Is he called Meow? I can't remember. Meow Cat. It might just be called Cat. I think the Meow thing's confusing me because of Pokemon sort of thing. Meowth. Anyway, yeah, it's from Space Dandy. That was a gift from Rock God Itachi. It's really awesome. And just cat toys and shit. Right, should we get onto the proper shelves then? How is it looking? We're good for white balance. That's awesome. Okay, so here is one of the craziest parts of my collection. Long time viewers will know of it. But yeah, I have every single NIS premium edition release. So every single long box, and also every single one of the non-long boxes. You're thinking that's not all of them. Got Cardcaptor Sakura down there, my Clamp section we'll see later. And then Genshiken the second generation down there with my Otaku anime stuff section or whatever. But yeah, I really love this collection. There's so many great releases. Anohana's amazing, Alucard Under the Bridge is great, Daylight of High School Boys is hilarious, Hanasakura Roha is like one of my absolute favourite like coming of age dramas. Galaxy Princess Emma Burning Up is a lot of fun. House of Five Leaves, I'd love to see that come out on Blu-ray. It's only DVD in that set, unfortunately. Then we've got Katana Gatari, which is like one of the most sought after releases from NIS. Really cool like samurai drama, really awesome animation. Community Todoke, Love Live, which was actually better than I thought it was going to be. It's the only Love Live season I've seen. Obviously they've made many since, but yeah, I didn't mind that much, to be honest. I didn't think I would like it at all, frankly. Natsume's Book of Friends, an incredible series. There's actually ones here I've still not watched, which is ridiculous since I've had all of these for a while now, but I haven't seen Nyarko, I haven't seen Our Home Fox Deity or Pandora Hearts. This is the one I really should have seen by now, I think. Persona Trinity Soul I've now watched. Wasn't that great, to be honest. Then we got Princess and the Pilot, which is awesome, and the Pilot's Love Song. Love both of those. Toradora, both the sub-only original releases and then the Blu-ray dual audio dub release. Umineko, When They Cry, the first 2 seasons of Working, Yuroriri, Zakuro, which was pretty good. Eccentric Family, one of my absolute favourite anime ever, and then some of these have pushed back a little bit more than I'd like, but anyway, Lana Sea, another one of my absolute favourite anime ever, and then My Little Monster was pretty good, and The Troubled Life of Miss Kotori, which I'm pretty sure I've watched. Yeah, I've watched that one as well, and that one's cool. Right, I'm gonna just take a quick pause again because my arm is aching a treat, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so the next 4 shelves is where my Giant Robot and Mecha collection resides. This is where my Shonen Blu-rays and DVDs used to be, so the Narutos and One Pieces, etc. But they took up so much space and actually had, you know, obviously there's so many episodes of those shows, so many box sets, and yeah, they take up so much space on the shelf, but you don't actually have that many shows taking up that room. So I've decided to put those in storage since I mostly watched all of those now. And yeah, so I decided to have my Mecha and Giant Robot collection take up these shelves, and it's very quickly filled up 4 shelves, and it's not even, there's still stuff I want, there's still lots of Gundam I want, but I'll take a little bit of a closer look and I'll just pick out some of my more favourite ones. So I've got like Blue Gender. Blue Gender's really cool. Broken Blade is a pretty good series. Code Geass on Blu-ray. Sorry for the glare. I stand on my tippy toes. It helps a bit. Some of the giant. There's a lot of stuff here that I've not shown in videos yet. So you can see I've got like the 70s giant robot shows that Discotech have been putting out. My Erica 7 collection is one of my absolute favourite franchises ever, despite it being pretty up and down over the years past the original series, but I still love it a lot. Fafner, which is really cool. Full Metal Panic. I haven't got Invisible Victory or whatever the 4th season's called yet. I need to do that at some point. And then yeah, we've got 5-Star Stories on DVD. And we've got my Sasoriga like Yamato like action figure, which now obviously has the J9 trilogy with literal Sasoriga on standard def Blu-ray there in the dark. Yeah, so that's really cool. Really fortunate to have these. They obviously disappeared pretty quick. We've got Gargantia, so that's the Viz Media TV series plus the 2 shorter OVA releases. Then we've got the Japanese import for the 2 hour-long, I think they're about an hour-long TV specials or whatever they were, OVAs. Which do actually have English subtitle support on them, so yeah, it was really cool to get those. I only finally did that back in January or late December or something, so been long overdue, but I finally got those, because yeah, Gargantia is one of my absolute favourite ever anime. Let's just move Sasoriga back a bit, and then yeah, we've got Mospeeder. I would like to have the American release, that's the Australian one, but they're so hard to come by. And I was sort of hoping with the new deal and all that between, what was it, Harmony Gold, Crunchyroll, and like big, I can't remember what they're called actually, whatever the Japanese side of it was. Yeah, just all that stuff. I just sort of was hoping we might get re-releases for stuff like Mospeeder, as well as like some of the other Macross stuff. But yeah, as of right now, that hasn't happened. So anyway, Giant Robo, Giant Gorg, Ghost Shogun, Guilty Crown, Gurren Lagann, that's the UK set on Blu-ray, which is so much cheaper, or at least it was. It cost me like £30, and it's got the Blu-ray TV series and the 2 movies in it. I think the American like equivalent would have been like hundreds of dollars or something. It's ridiculous. Knights of Sidonia, I got rid of the limited editions. I used to have the limited editions for season 1 and season 2, but I sold them and got the just standard releases to save space. Only the limited editions, like, they just have like DVDs in them obviously, but they also just, I know the extras weren't that crazy, just some art cards and like a flag or something. Like, that just wasn't stuff I was that keen on keeping. So anyway, Machine Robo. And then we got the beginning of my Mazinger collection. So it starts here with the original series on DVD, and as we go down to another shelf, we have the rest of it. So we got Great Mazinger, God Mazinger. I don't know how to pronounce this show. I always say it one of like two different ways, Mazinger or Mazinger. So yeah, Mazinger Z Edition Impact, and then Infinity, and then Meisenkaiser, the original OVA, and then the SKL OVA that Media Blasters put out. Discotek are actually doing another Meisenkaiser release soon with a dub and everything on Blu-ray. I got that on pre-order. It's pretty cool. And there's the Megazone 2-3 Animego Blu-ray set from Kickstarter. So happy to have that. They did such an amazing job with that release. It's basically got almost everything you could ask for. I think that like the only thing that's missing is like the manga UK dub for part 3. That's literally all that's missing, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it's really cool. And then we've got Metal Skin Panic Madox just next to it there. And then we got the beginning of the Gundam collection. And I'm going to just fiddle with the white balance again, because it seems like it might be a bit off. Okay, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. So, yeah, we've got the original 1979 TV series on DVD and Blu-ray. I got the DVDs because the Blu-rays are DNR'd to hell. All the film grain got scrubbed out. So yeah, I got the DVDs as well. I got them really cheap, like I didn't go out my way necessarily to get those. I got a very good deal on them. And then we got the movie trilogy, Zeta, Zeta New Translation, Double Zeta. Just yeah. So far, basically what I'm doing with Gundam, because I haven't watched all of this yet by any means. I've been basically watching the series in air date order rather than like chronological for the Universal Century stuff. Like, I've been going with air date. I wanted to see Gundam evolve over time, and since I basically got into Gundam, having only seen the likes of like Gundam Seed and like some of like the more modern OVAs, like in terms of TV series, like my second TV series literally was Gundam 79, the original. So I basically decided let's just go through the franchise chronologically with these beautiful Blu-rays, and well, not chronologically, sorry, air date, somewhat chronologically, chronologically in terms of release anyway. So yeah, air date order, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it a whole bunch. I've currently got to Victory Gundam. That's the most recent of the more classic stuff that I've seen. So I've got Mobile Fighter G Gundam next, and then Gundam Wing. Both of those I hope to get to this year, and maybe Mobile Suit 8th Mobile Suit Team or whatever as well. I hope to get to, because that OVA is lauded quite highly in the fan base and stuff. So, and then we've got After War Turn A. Gundam Evolve, which is currently, as of the making of this video, on last chance, and I doubt it'll ever get a Blu-ray just because of the sort of material that's on there. It's all very early digital and CG effects and things, so there won't be a Blu-ray of that coming in the future. So if you want that DVD, recommend going and picking it up while you can, I guess. And then we've got Gundam Seed, currently only on DVD, the original version. I'll get the Blu-rays eventually. Yeah. I didn't like Gundam Seed when I first watched it. It's one of my least favourite Gundam things so far. Although I'm going to revisit it when the time comes, I will rewatch it. So yeah. Anyway, and then we've got Double O, Unicorn, Gundam Age, and then the Thunderbolt OVAs, and the first part of Origin, and then Mobile Suit Gundam Narrative, I think is what that one's called. So yeah, I'm missing a few things, but it's already full up on this shelf, and this shelf that we're following on with is also already full up. So I don't know where those extra Gundam things I'm missing are going to go. We'll have to worry about that later. So yeah, here in the dark, I have to pull it out because it's almost impossible to see it. We've got the Neon Genesis Evangelion Ultimate Edition Blu-ray, which comes with both the original ADV dub and the somewhat less popular Netflix English dub, as well as obviously the original Japanese. Yes, it doesn't have Fly Me to the Moon on it, but personally I just don't care. I don't think it's that big a deal. It's unfortunate, I just don't think it's that big a deal. I find people freaking out about that a little bit overkill, frankly. Anyway, but yeah, happy to have that set. I'm not a huge fan of Evangelion, to be honest. I tend to prefer a lot of the Evangelion-like shows that kind of soften the tone, like something like Razafon or something. I vastly prefer, but yeah, Evangelion is something I need to return to. But yeah, I've never been a huge fan, to be honest. And then we got the Rebuild films, which I was actually quite enjoying up to well, I think it's, I can't remember how many. Yeah, I think the first two I quite liked, which are kind of more obviously like the original. And is it the third one that goes completely off the rails? And obviously I've not seen the fourth one yet. I'll buy it when it comes out. I don't think it's scheduled to come out just yet, but yeah. Anyway, that's my quick opinions on Evangelion. Not overly positive, I guess. We've got Ninja Robots Tobakage, Obsolete, Pat Labor, and some more classic 80s stuff like Dorvac and Gavarian, Cybuster, Razaphon in the Steelbook because owning it on DVD, and then on Ultimate Japanese Blu-ray release up there, and then DVD there. Wasn't enough. I had to buy the Sentai Filmworks Steelbook release as well, apparently. So it is one of my favourite shows. So I mean, in fairness, I do own Evangelion twice as well, DVD and Blu-ray. And I actually owned it on DVD twice until recently, but I sold the DVD because that didn't seem worth having twice. Anyway, whatever. And we got this is the anime midstream release of Raijino Zetai. What was it? Zetai Muteki Raijino. Isn't my Japanese amazing? Or Matchless Raijino is another name for it. This was released in a weird way where they actually did volume releases back in like 2009 on like some nostalgia trip or something, I guess. And yeah, this is like a proper bedroom operation sort of release. This is a Sunrise kid-friendly giant robot show from the early 90s. And yeah, the first 5 volumes actually include English dub, and then they ended up having to cave in on like not doing the releases this way, but they did at least complete the series on DVD. So they did a season 2 here, subtitle only for the remaining 25 or so episodes. So yeah, the full mural, I guess, I can't think of the right word. It's not complete, but it looks alright, I guess. So yeah, happy to have that. I've not actually got through this yet. I've watched like the first 2 volumes, I think. Anyway, we've got Space Runaway Ideon. I can't believe how expensive this release is now. It seemed to be in print for a pretty short time. Frankly, I bought it the second it came out. But yeah, I was super surprised to see how it literally goes for hundreds of dollars now, which is crazy. Space Warrior Barrios, Summon Cross, Star Driver, Stelvia. I actually did buy the Discotheque Blu-ray for this, but I was super disappointed with the upscale. I didn't like it at all. It had that real horrible, I mean, it's from the Japanese Blu-rays. I don't necessarily blame Discotheque, but it had that smeary Q-Tech upscale where the line detail just looks really gross. So I had this really beautiful DVD tin set that doesn't take up a lot of room, frankly, so I decided to sell the Blu-ray and just keep the DVD since that's going to be my preferred way of watching the show anyway. And yeah, obviously got the Pat Labor Revoltech here, and then this is another one from Pat Labor. This is a Robot Spirits Bandai. It's pretty cool. And then we've got a Tekkaman Blade, my Tetsujin 28 collection, and then some more 80s and 70s robot action there. And that's the Mecha section, which takes up 4 shelves. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, so this is where we were, and this is where we are now. I'm on a chair. I got a chair. Peak laziness now. Anyway, so this is my Leijiverse shelf. This is one of my. It's also got a random Lucky Star, and it's got Kyoko here. It's supposed to actually be on the lower shelf, as we'll get to. But yeah, Lucky Star is here because it's where it fits. Anyway, so yeah, this is a Leijiverse section. Obviously, Leiji Matsumoto. Rest in peace. Just recently, that was horrible, but we move on. He left us with such an absolute treasure trove of stories and adventures to remind us of him, so we're good there. So yeah, Leiji Matsumoto's creations of the Leijiverse is some of my absolute favourite stuff. So I got the original Voyage Entertainment releases for the Yamato movies. They look like trash on DVD. Those all have beautiful Blu-rays in Japan. I really hope that one day we might actually get the original series and the movies on Blu-ray. That'd be really, really cool. They are all fan subs, so there are good alternative ways to watch those movies in English if you're willing. And yeah, so. And then we got, I hate calling it this, but whatever, Star Blazers 21.99 and 2202, or you know, Space Battleship Yamato 21.99. So these are the remakes that they've been doing in Japan. So far, this is all we've got in English, and I'm thankful to get it because it took really 8 or 9 years for these to come out. But yeah, I haven't actually showed these on videos yet, but I did finally pick those up. A little bit overdue. I did get in there just before they started going out of print and getting hard to find. Someone ended up actually, I bought this one brand new on Amazon, and it didn't come with a slipcover, and I was like really bummed out about it. But someone on Blu-ray.com obviously helped me out with that, and they did it for free, which is really, really kind of them. So yeah, I offered to pay, but they were quite happy to do it for free, which is amazing. So anyway, so then we got Galaxy Express and the movies on DVD and Blu-ray, Galaxy Railway stuff, Maytel Legend, Queen Emeraldus, Harlock, and just, yeah, all the Harlock stuff. So yeah, it's not sorted alphabetically, this part of the collection. It's just kind of by theme and characters. So we've got Yamato stuff, then we've got Galaxy Express, and the theme here is essentially the Galaxy Express, and then Maytel, and then Maytel's sister is Emeraldus, and Emeraldus is connected to Harlocks, and then we go into the Harlock stuff. And then we got the Harlock spin-offs here at the end, Gun Frontier and Cosmo Warrior Zero, and then we just got some of the, you know, the straddlers, like Submarine Super 99, Interstellar 555, and then this really cool DVD. This only came out in Japan. And this is really cool now as well, especially. So yeah, this is the great man himself in 2013 doing fan, I can't think of the right words right now for some reason, but like just fan requests, like drawings of all the characters from his creations and stuff. This is like an over-the-shoulder camera with some Spanish classical guitar sounding renditions of classic Leiji verse opening and ending themes and the like. But yeah, since this is fans, it is a lot of him drawing multiple Maytels, multiple Harlocks and stuff. But yeah, there is quite a nice mix of them as well, and it's really cool. You literally just see it from beginning to end, from blank page to finished drawing. It's pretty cool, and it's like an hour and a half or something. It's totally worth tracking down if you can find it. I'm pretty sure it's region free. Yeah, it is. And yeah, you don't need English support on this. It's just a case of just putting it on in the background and just, or yeah, watching it and just enjoying the master at work. So yeah, recommend picking that up if you can find it. And then we got Lucky Star just randomly chilling over there. Right, I have to stand up because chairs don't move. Not this one anyway, it doesn't have wheels. Anyway, so next up we got the Lupin the Third collection. This used to be with my like action, seinen, dramas and all the rest of it, but it just started to take on a life of its own, obviously, because Lupin is such a long-running franchise. So yeah, this is almost everything. The thing I'm missing is parts 2, or Lupin the Third Part 2 collections 2, 3 and 4 on DVD there. That's all I'm missing. I have everything else, at least in some form. Obviously I have everything else that's been put out by Discotek and the like over the last, well, however long. I'm pretty sure at this point everything here is just Discotek now, apart from like Lupin Lupin the Third, the first over there, which is done by G Kids. Pretty sure everything else is Discotek. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. The reason I haven't got around to picking up the remaining collections of Part 2 is because I kind of suspect they're going to do a Blu-ray, because they've done every other TV series that they've had the license for on Blu-ray. And while the Blu-ray in Japan is like an upscale and it's probably not exactly what Discotek want to do, they ended up doing like basically their own bespoke release for Part 1. I think they might do the same for Part 2 in the future, and I'm just kind of thinking I'd rather not double dip, but I know I'm playing with fire. The DVDs might not be in print forever, so I think I might cave soon. It really depends. I might wait until their Otakon panel in the summer, and if they end up announcing Part 2 there, then obviously the wait was worth it, but if not, I think I'll just end up buying the DVDs, because I don't want to miss out. I don't want to have those missing from the collection. We got a Zenigata plushie here, which is pretty cool. And in the back there, we got my original, the woman called Fujiko Mine, limited edition set, which is actually kind of handy. It holds up all these Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff. because yeah, I ended up buying the discotheque release not too long ago. Love Lupin the Third. Obviously, I wouldn't have all this if I didn't. I've actually seen basically, well, literally everything here because I actually have seen the episodes that are on this set. So yeah, there isn't a single thing here I haven't watched either. So yeah, I love Lupin the Third, one of my favorite things in my whole collection. I guess I'm gonna do some mini recommendations, right? So you got the obvious ones, which is Castle Cagliostro, and you got like the start of it all with the original series, even though it's not my favorite. But yeah, some of my other recommendations. This one's long out of print. They might do a Blu-ray in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if they could find the film negatives. I don't believe there's a Blu-ray in Japan, but who knows? But yeah, the Fuma Conspiracy. Yeah, one of the Lupin DVDs they put out that is actually out of print, but it's such a good TV special or movie or whatever the hell it ended up being. OVA, I can't remember. I think it's an OVA that sort of had a mini theatrical run actually. Anyway, yeah, I love the Fuma Conspiracy. I love Hemingway Papers is one of my favorite TV specials of the early ones. Dead or Alive is my absolute favourite Lupin film, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Castle Cagliostro a bit more, I don't know. But of like the later era of, you know, the non-Miyazaki films, Dead or Alive, directed by Monkey Punch, the original creator of Lupin, is probably my favourite. Dragon of Doom is fun. I mean, a lot of these are fun. Secret Twilight Gemini is a lot of fun because it's just different in tone. It's a little bit ecchi in places, like there's nudity for like Fujiko, which you just don't see in quite the same way as you do in this, which might put people off. But I don't know. I just kind of like the style of the Secret Twilight Gemini and the story itself. I mean, these are all good, to be honest, for the most part, at least up to about here, Missed by a Dollar. And then when we go into like the digital ones, they start to really tail off. So Alcatraz Connection's not that great. Return of Picard's one of the worst things ever. Lupin the Third, Episode 0, The First Contact, which they did a nice upscale of with a new, brand new dub, is pretty cool. It's about the characters all meeting for the first time in like an alternate origin story sort of thing. It's pretty cool. And then Lupin the Third, Green vs. Red is really cool. I'd like to see a Blu-ray of that. And then yeah, Lupin the Third Part 5 is unbelievable. I absolutely love Lupin the Third Part 5. What I most enjoy about it is it basically takes the TV special style of storytelling. So you could basically get TV special length arcs, so 4 or 5 episode arcs. There is a through line that connects all the arcs, but basically you get these 4 or 5 episode arcs, followed by like a random like filler episode, if you will, that basically will be about one character, or be just like a silly little story, or it'll be a nostalgia trip, basically, like there's a Pink Jacket episode in this and everything. And then there's the relationship between Lupin and Fujiko and the dynamics of their relationship that they go into in this, which absolutely just sent it over the top for me. It absolutely made this like not 9 out of 10 but masterpiece favorite Lupin TV series territory. I absolutely adored this show. It's so cool. So yeah, that's my Lupin the Third collection. Pretty happy with it. Got a little bit more space, although to be honest, I don't think this space here is enough to eventually get the rest of the franchise, because we're still missing 4 or 5 or 6 TV specials, I'm pretty sure. And then there's part 6, which I haven't got from Sentai. And then I'm still missing obviously 2, 3 and 4 of part 2. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to fit it in all into that gap. So Lupin's going to take up more of an entire shelf, which is ridiculous. Okay, so I kind of fell into the trap of talking about stuff for too long, which I kind of worried I would. But anyway, we're going to move on to Rumiko Takahashi. This is just sort of a case of I just decided to put this stuff together. It's not like that huge a thing. I mean, I absolutely love elements of Rumiko Takahashi, some of the shows that she obviously did the mangas for. But anyway, we've got Inuyasha, seasons 1 through 7, the movie collection on Blu-ray, which I think those are actually upscales. I found that later on, which is super disappointing. And then we've got the final act, which is also an upscale on Blu-ray, but doesn't look that too well. It doesn't look that great actually, but whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, that's the original run of Inuyasha. Obviously, we've since had a sequel series from the last couple of years, which I haven't got into collecting yet because I haven't actually watched all of Inuyasha yet. I've only seen about 50 or 60 episodes of the TV series and one of the movies, I think. So yeah, I figured I'm not gonna get into collecting those until, you know, I'm actually through the original series first. So yeah, then we move on to Maze on the Koku, which I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite ever anime, like in my top four, top three. Yeah, it's an absolute eternal favorite of mine. It's just such a sweet, like, funny, romantic comedy from the 80s. Um, you know, more shonen in style, but I absolutely adore Maison Koku. I love all the characters. Calling Kyoko over here. I wanna own this show on Blu-ray for a couple of reasons. One, it'll take up less space on the shelf. Although I'll probably keep these because they were such a holy grail for me to pick up back in the day. They were crazy expensive even when I decided to get into anime collecting, and I had to basically sell a whole lot of my old video game collection, like multiple consoles, multiple like tens of games and stuff, like in order to afford those. But it was worth it. Maison the Cookie was amazing, and I don't really miss those games that much. So yeah, then we got Ranma on Blu-ray. Absolutely crazy how expensive those are these days. I just bought them. Well, I was about to say I bought them as and when they came out, but that's not true. I think I got the first two as and when they came out, and then dragged my feet on the rest. And then when they announced standard editions, I knew that the special editions were going to go out of print relatively quickly, so I ended up picking up all the rest in quick succession in order to make sure I got them all. They're really, really nice sets, so I'm happy to have those. And then we got Rinne from Sentai Filmworks. That's the first season was across two sets, and then season two and season three. Haven't watched that one yet, but I really want to. It's so weird that Sentai didn't dub that though. Like it's one of the few Rumiko Takahashi things that isn't Urusei Yatsura that you know was never dubbed, which just seems bizarre to me. Like Takahashi stuff has been such a staple of like Western anime culture for so long that it just seems sort of bizarre that they didn't feel the need to dub Rinne, despite going out their way to license it. I presume, like get it off Viz Media's hands. Like it's sort of weird it didn't end up with Viz Media, but whatever. And then we have here in the dark, so we just pull these forward a bit. We got the six, even though 5 and 6 are around the wrong way, I've just noticed. But yeah, the six Urusei Yatsura movies on Blu-ray. The first collection of the TV series has just come out from Discotek, but right now my finances are kind of being pinched heavily, so I haven't been able to get that one just yet. I will do hopefully soon. Super happy that we're finally getting the original series on Blu-ray, and obviously Sentai are going to be putting out the modern David Productions version as well, so that's cool. But yeah, happy to have these movies. We'll eventually be happy to have the TV series, and hopefully Discotek will also do the OVA collection as well. And then we've got like two somewhat random sections. We've got just, this is basically 2D fighting game adaptations that were done quite a lot in the 90s, and some of them are from 3D games like Tekken as well. But and Batterina Shinden actually is also a 3D game, and probably Psychic Force. Yeah, some of them are 3D. That's why there's some 2D games. But yeah, back in the 90s, obviously the 2D fighting game genre was pretty hot with the likes of Street Fighter and Fatal Fury and stuff. And a lot of them got anime adaptations. I quite enjoy them. I don't play fighting games anymore, but I know a lot of the characters. I used to play the games back in the day and enjoyed them a lot back then, but I don't play them anymore because I'm not very good at them, frankly. But yeah, I do really enjoy these OVAs. They're varying degrees of like good to quite terrible, but I don't know. I quite enjoy just having them and watching them. So yeah, and we got some of them on Blu-ray as well, courtesy of Discotex. We got Darkstalkers, which were with a pretty impressive upscale. The two Fatal Fury like movie and OVA sets, and then Street Fighter 2, the animated film on Blu-ray, was just a crazy set. Every single version of the English dub is included on that. It's fully uncensored. It's really, really cool to have that. That's actually obviously the American animated series. I just put it in here as well. We've got the terrible Tekken the motion picture, Virtua Fighter. I need to get the standard definition Blu-ray for Virtua Fighter now that it's finally a complete series. And I've been very curious to watch the Virtua Fighter anime TV series because the trailers that Media Blast has put out in the day made that show look hilarious. So sort of looking forward to getting that eventually. And then we have my clamp section. Just another thing I decided to put all the clamp stuff together. Obviously these are all anime that were adapted from Clamp's mangas. So we've got Angelic Layer, Cardcaptor Sakura, the NIS big Blu-ray box, and then the 2 movies that Discotek put out, Clear Card, and we've got Clamp School Detectives, Magic Knight Rayearth on Blu-ray, Rayearth OVA, Miyuki in Wonderland or something, some Alice in Wonderland thing. RG Vader, I don't actually know what the RG stands for. Tokyo Babylon, which I really like. It's a shame that remake doesn't seem like it's going to happen, unfortunately. And then X, the movie, we really need to get that on Blu-ray. It's like out on Blu-ray in like Japan and Germany, and that's it. Would really like to see that come out on Blu-ray elsewhere, especially in English. And then we've got X, the TV series. So yeah, little Clamp section there. Let's move on to the next bit. Next up is my seinen drama section. This takes up 2.5 shelves, and these are all like action shows with like more mature, darker themes, mystery shows like gun, action, crime, all that sort of stuff. Pulled these 3 out because they were a little bit in the dark there, but we've got 91 Days, Angel Cop and the beautiful Blu-ray release, and then Baccano on DVD, which I own it twice on DVD. I ended up picking up this version and being quite happy with it, but I found out that apparently this complete collection is missing extras that the art box release isn't, and I got a very cheap, like I didn't go out my way necessarily to get the art box, I just happened to find it really cheap, so I decided I'll just double dip and have both and whatever. I've owned Baccano so many times. I had the Aniplex Blu-ray, I had the UK Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray always looked kind of bad, upscaled, so quite happy to just have the DVDs. But yeah, I've owned that show so many times, such a classic series. Then we got the Blackjack OVAs from the 90s, done by Dezuki, obviously. And then the movie, Young Blackjack, Ray, Black Lagoon, Batum, Kanan, all my Case Closed stuff. So I got the 6 movies that Funimation put out. The first one's a double feature, and then 4 more after that. And then we got the ones that Discotek have been putting out with TMS. So missing one of them. I forget what it's called, but it's like the one that basically is supposed to be the best. It's the one that has like the crazy box office records being smashed in like Japan and just Asia in general for animated films or something. I can't remember what it's called, like something to do with like a blue crystal or something, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, I got these ones. I haven't watched any of these yet. Really should have done. I've just been picking up relatively recently, so not got to those yet. And we've got Cat's Eye on Blu-ray and DVD. I just really like this art box and don't want to get rid of it yet. It'll eventually go into the art box section once I get more room. So yeah, at the moment it's sat here, and yeah, the Blu-rays look really cool though, and I'm just really happy to own that series on Blu-ray. It's an absolute classic. And then finally, City Hunter is now back to being complete again. Once upon a time I had all the ADV releases, but I sold those in anticipation of these Discotek Blu-rays, and they're pretty amazing. Obviously we got the 4 TV series in proper high definition from the Japanese Blu-rays. You know, they don't look perfect, but they look substantially better than the old ADV DVDs I had, so very happy with those. And then we got obviously the movie and TV special collection, which is unfortunately upscale. For some reason in Japan they haven't done any Blu-ray releases for the classic City Hunter specials and movies. I don't know why. After they did all the TV series stuff, it just seems weird, and I find it kind of extra weird because Sunrise are basically well known for basically taking care of their old, you know, film negatives and, you know, just old stock of their classic shows. And so I'd be surprised if City Hunter, those TV specials and movies, you know, aren't just, you know, in a lab, in a locker somewhere, whatever, in a vault, waiting to basically be brought into the new age, if you will, and with remastering. But as of yet, that hasn't happened, so Discotek basically jumped the gun with those. I don't necessarily blame them for that, and gave us at least a complete set with all of them upscaled. They look kind of okay, but yeah, I mean, for now it's the best we can get, and it saves a lot of space on the shelf compared to the old releases. Anyway, and then we got Durarara there, so we got the original series plus the 3 arcs that made up the second series. Pull these out slightly so you can see them. So yeah, all of that. That's basically, I guess I haven't touched upon this. I haven't necessarily had the need to. Yeah, this is basically the only thing from Aniplex of America that I own. I don't support Aniplex of America. I know a lot of collectors really like collecting their stuff, and I don't really understand why. It's like just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's worth it. I mean, they've put out a lot of great shows, and it's sort of frustrating to miss out on those. But there's so much anime out there, I can't afford to spend multiple sums for, compared to some other shows and some other releases from Discotheque and the like on like 4 or 5 episode sets from Aniplex. Like I did it for Durarara because I got these second season arc releases actually at half price, so it was starting to bordering on being affordable, and I really liked the series, so I decided to do it. But yeah, as of yet, I've not decided to go back to Aniplex of America. These are the UK releases of Erased. Uh, Moving along across the floor here. Anyway, we'll move on. We've got what we got. Golgo 13. It's pretty cool. That's all of the anime for that. Gunsmith Cats. Super rare set nowadays, I guess. A standard. I don't think they did like a proper standard edition for Gunsmith Cats. I mean, they did on the Kickstarter, and you could get it for a little while after the fact. But yeah, currently it seems that getting Gunsmith Cats is really expensive. It'd be nice if Animego did a normal standard release, but yeah, that's the Kickstarter edition. It looks amazing on Blu-ray. Super happy to have that. It's a great OVA. Jormungand is a really cool series that I feel like kind of gets forgotten. I really liked it anyway. Madball 34, one of my favourites, despite being complete trash. Master Keaton, all 8 volumes of that. Would love to see what Astro Res would do to Master Keaton. Discotheque, wink wink, nudge nudge. um, Seriously, I would love to see what that technology could do with upscaling Master Keaton, because the Blu-ray in Japan looks like hell on earth, because the masters for this look like hell on earth. Like, it's a really bad looking show on DVD. There's a couple of episodes that seem to avoid the disaster that is the mastering of the video for this, but yeah, we'd love to see what Astro Res could do to Master Keaton. So maybe, I don't know, in the future. Michiko and Hatchin, really cool show. That's the Mind Game Kickstarter release. I should probably get the standard edition. I don't know. Actually, no. I was thinking the standard edition came with a dub, but it doesn't, does it? So yeah, I'll just keep my Kickstarter version. Monster complete series came out in Australia. You should get that. I don't know how hard it is to get these now. I collected the parts separately, and then I got the art box, like a slipcase. They actually did release that separately as well for people who wanted it to house their releases, and I ended up importing that all the way from Australia as well. But yeah, I'm so glad I made sure to get these. They're quite hard to find now, I believe. Maybe not too expensive, but yeah, they're not long. There, I can't get the words out. I don't think they're in print anymore. But yeah, that's probably the only English complete release that show's going to get for the foreseeable future. Anyway, Noir on Blu-ray, an annoying anime classics release. Paranoia Agent in the art box. I should probably get the Blu-ray for that. It doesn't look too bad as an upscale. I don't know, but the art box is pretty nice. And then we've got Perfect Blue. I really need to get the is it Shout Factory or G Kids? I can't remember who put out Perfect Blue in America, but it has the remastered HD version, which looks a little bit better than even that does on Blu-ray. That's a UK original like collector's edition set. Anyway, and then the end of the seinen drama stuff. We've got Phantom, Riding Bull Kickstarter release, Sherlock Hound on Blu-ray, Trigun, which is a show I just cannot get on board with. Yeah, I'm going to try the new series Stampede and see if that finally lets me enjoy Trigun, because it's a show that I've just never found myself loving, unfortunately. And then we've got Yojimbo and Yugo the Negotiator. Okay, so next up we've got the sci-fi section. So we've got things like 80 Police, Akira, Appleseed, Armitage, The Third, Astro Boy, it's the classic 80s version on Blu-ray, which is really cool. Big O, Birth is pretty cool. Black Magic M66, like Terminator. Was that Blue Seed? I've not watched that one yet. Bubblegum Crisis, that's the Kickstarter Ultimate Edition, the original one. It's pretty cool. And then everything sort of like is coming out from the shelves because I've got art boxes stacked at the back, as I mentioned earlier, but got the rest of the sci-fi stuff. So I've got Cowboy Bebop, it's the Amazon edition, Crusher Joe, Cyber City Oedo on Blu-ray and Steelbook form from Discotek. It's really cool. All the Dirty Pair, we're replacing these with Blu-rays in the future, obviously. Ergo Proxy on Blu-ray. Future Boy Conan, this is actually in 4K. This is a UK release. And yeah, this came out on Blu-ray in America with English dub. This includes that same English dub, but yeah, it's actually in 4K. So you can see the Ultra HD logos on there, if it will focus. Yeah, so pretty crazy. It also comes with like a nice art book, which is pretty cool. We got Gal Force. Annoyingly, I bought this set and it came with the original release of Gal Force Eternal Story, rather than the one that matches all the rest of the spines. I'd like to replace that, but yeah, I got all of Gal Force. It was kind of hard to track down. For years I put off buying this or even considering trying to collect it because it was quite expensive, but also because I kind of figured that there's a chance that Discotek might do a release, but that never. After a while, I just came to the conclusion that maybe that isn't going to happen, and I found these really, really cheap, and I was able to. Fortunately, I already had this. This was like one of the rarest ones from this collection, Gal Force Earth Chapter. I picked this up for like, I don't know, like $10, like years and years and years ago. So the only one I had to go out of my way to get was Gal Force New Era, which is, you know, the least good of all of them anyway. It cost like $20 or something, but it was more than what I wanted to pay for it. But ultimately, it completed the set, so I was happy to do that. We got Garaga, Generator Ghoul, or whatever. This series, one of the earliest TV series that ADV did. It's the UK release, but this is actually a pretty good show, to be honest. Like, it's a good time travel series. It often seems to not be considered very high quality by the majority of anime fans in the West, it seems, but I don't know, I like that series. And then we got my Ghost in the Shell collection. So we got the film in 4K in a steelbook, and just with a slipcover. These are all kind of identical. And obviously we got 2.0, which is terrible. It's just the original film with a bunch of CG in it to enhance the film. It looks kind of bad. Innocence, and we got a standalone complex on DVD, and then the dub only, dub titles or whatever. The subtitles for this are only for the dub. So yeah, got the DVD so you can watch it in the original Japanese with proper English subtitles, and then the Blu-ray and the compilation film, and the same for season 2 standalone complex, and the OVA, and then the Rise, all four films for that, and then Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. In the second sci-fi shelf, we got Girls Last Tour in the corner over there, really good sci-fi series. And then Hyper Police, one of my favourite shows from the 90s, massively underrated. Would love to see this series get some sort of re-release. These DVDs are kind of hard to find, and they're not particularly good video quality anyway. It'd be really cool to get a Blu-ray in Japan or something. That'd be pretty sick. It's actually this series appears on the Tokyo Film Lab list on Anime News Network, so maybe there's a vault full of film negatives for this series. That would be amazing one day, but that's also quite a big dream. So we've got ID Invaded, which is a pretty good like Psychopath-ish sort of type of show. And then we've got Irresponsible Captain Tyler, the Ultimate Edition on Blu-ray. Although of course this is upscale. I got the slipcover on upside down, so the logo is the right way around. I don't know why they did the opposite way. It's annoying, but yeah, that has this Ultimate Edition release. It's pretty much the same as the standard version. You get the TV series, you get the OVA series, but it comes with all these, as it says there, exclusive bonus sets. So it's got a Blu-ray and DVDs full of all the extras from the original Ultimate Editions that were done in Japan and on the original Nozomi DVDs. I'm just going to put that back like that for now because I only got one hand with the camera in the other. We've got Kids Naiva, that's another Aniplex show. I got that really cheap though. I haven't even watched it yet. It was just so cheap for an Aniplex release, I decided to just give it a go and pick it up. We've got Kurogane Communication, another show from the 90s that I absolutely love. That doesn't get anywhere near enough recognition. We got the modern remake of Legend of Galactic Heroes, which is really good. I highly recommend this series. If you missed out on the original like Sentai ridiculously expensive release, don't fret. This is actually a better adaptation in my opinion. It comes with the English dub, which makes it a lot easier to follow in many ways. But it's just a really, really good version of the show. It's just a lot easier to follow. Has obviously nice new, brand new modern animation in it. Highly recommend picking these up if you just want to experience Legend of Galactic Heroes, which is a very worthwhile thing to do. We've got Lily Cat, which is kind of a funny 80s film OVA thing. It's kind of like Alien, but what if instead of an alien there was like this mutant cat that ended up trying to kill off people on a spaceship? Yeah, it's fun. Lost Universe, Marduk Scramble, the trilogy of films or whatever. These are quite hard to find now. I don't know if that's like an Aniplex thing. I think it's something to do with Aniplex. But yeah, Sentai license long since expired, and you can't actually find those anymore. Easily anyway. We've got Memories on Blu-ray, which is awesome. Metropolis. It's obviously an adaptation of the Tezuka manga for Metropolis, his version of the story. Still not watched that, way overdue. We've got Mezzo TV, what's that? Mighty Space Miners, a really cool OVA. Lamune and 40 and all that on Standard Def Blu-ray. Outlaw Star kind of didn't quite live up to the hype. Now and then, here and there, did though. I really enjoyed that. Parasite Dolls I've been meaning to see for ages as part of the Bubblegum Crisis universe. I need to see that. Planetaires on Blu-ray. I don't know what's going on in America. This series not being rescued. It seemed like it should be something that maybe Made in Japan had put out back in the day on Blu-ray or something, but they never did. And this show really needs a rescue in America. This is the UK set, but it just needs it because this series was made in high definition and it's an amazing show. I absolutely adore that show. Absolutely adore Aitanabe. Just a really, really cool series. Please Save My Earth is another really good OVA series from the 90s I enjoy. Project Earth, SOS, or Blue Earth, I can't remember. It was okay. Psycho Pass, the original, Ultimate Edition, I guess, for Season 1 and Season 2. Amazing series, obviously. And then the movie. It's kind of a shame that, shuffle across. It's kind of a shame that all of the subsequent movies and seasons for Psycho Pass have all been streaming on Amazon and all sorts of weird places, and it just seems like the show got lost. I haven't seen anything since this movie, and I really liked Psycho Pass, but it just seemed to fall off my radar because it just seemed to be in really weird places in terms of availability. Anyway, Robotic Notes, Robot Carnival is really cool. Royal Space Force Wings of Honor Armies is an amazing film. This is a cool one. Erusian Z. I don't know why this has not been licensed in America for Blu-ray. Seems like something Discotek should have put out about 4 years ago at this point. But yeah, this is a movie from the 90s about using nuclear technology, nuclear power technology to basically help with the crisis of taking care of old people in Japan, and they end up making this automated robot that's supposed to take care of all this old man's needs, and the robot basically goes wild, runs amok, and causes absolute chaos, and the whole of Japanese military is trying to take this super powerful care mech down and stuff. And yeah, it's got a full English dub and everything from back in the day. This was released on DVD in America, but it got a Blu-ray here in the UK and in Europe and stuff. So with the English support, so yeah, this is a pretty cool one to have. Again, I don't know why it hasn't come out in America yet. Is it region locked? It doesn't say it's region B only, but I'm guessing it probably is. I've never checked, to be honest. But maybe it's import friendly, I'm not sure. Then we got Serial Experiments Lane, that's the Ultimate or Collector's Edition. What's it called? Just a complete collection. I don't know. It comes in a nice big art box with loads and loads of like book extras and art book sort of extras. It's a really really cool set. Silent Mobius films, TV series, Space Adventure Cobra, all the Space Brothers. Love that show. I really 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 wish the show would come back. It's not finished in terms of a story. I mean, it stopped, oh god, like ages ago at this point, I guess. Like, I can't remember exactly, but it must be like 10 years or something since the anime finished, and since, or, like, in terms of like where the anime got caught up to, I think was like 10 years ago in terms of the manga. I'm not even sure the manga's finished, but we need more Space Brothers, god damn it. Steam Boy, Steins Gate Collection, amazing show, obviously. They Were 11's a really cool, like, interesting film. Time of Eve, amazing OVA slash movie from, I can't remember, about 12 years ago or something. Titania, which is like a mini Legend of Galactic Heroes. We got Venus Wars, the original Discotheque Blu-ray with the old dub, and then Sentai's version with a new dub. This looks insane. Like, the remastering that was done on the Japanese release that Sentai got to use for this is so much better than the original HD version that Discotheque had access to. It's just a shame that Sentai didn't include the old dub. Their new dub is probably the preferable way to watch this film with dub these days. It's just, higher quality, I guess, in terms of acting and probably sound as well. But yeah, it's just a shame they didn't include the original as well. And we've got Vexile. This is like you can get this dirt cheap if you like films like Appleseed and stuff, and the sort of CG animation that was used in that. Vexile is really cool. I really liked Vexile. It's not like an incredible film, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. We've got Galaxy Angel Una. It's still sealed. I actually own this twice, and I can't decide. The other version I've got is obviously not sealed, so I haven't opened this one yet, just in case I decide to sell this particular copy instead. And then we got Zillion, Red Photon Zillion. This is one of those weird instances where Funimation put out a 1980s sci-fi show on Blu-ray and everything. Unfortunately, the Blu-ray in Japan, which this is obviously based on, was DNR to hell, all film grain rubbed out. It's sort of a shame, but yeah, and also they don't include the dub on the OVA. I think it's like 5 episode OVA or something that Streamline did dub back in the day, but yeah, the dub's not included on this, so this is just Japanese only. It's one of those cases where it's sort of a shame that maybe Discotheque didn't get the chance to put it out, but it's a nice looking release. I like what they did with the packaging and stuff, at least, and it's just cool to have it regardless. There's no guarantee that Discotheque would have put it out, so it's just nice to have. Okay, let's move on to other stuff. So next is the actually, just before we go there, because I just realised I totally forgot to show these. These are my Last Exile plushies, which are pretty cool. I think they're a little bit rare. I think they were made in America though, so maybe not super super rare, but yeah, they're pretty cool. I love Last Exile. Anyway, so this is basically my supernatural horror sort of anime section. So we got 3 shelves. So there's the first one. So right, anyway, so we got 3x3 Eyes, one of my favourite anime OVAs. I really really enjoy that one. Would love to see a proper full adaptation, like a new version of that come out. That'd be cool. We've got Agent, Demi-Human, Akame ga Kill, Another, which is a great PA Works horror series. We've got all of Attack on Titan that's currently available. So it's the first series, second series, the third series, and the first 2 parts of the final season. Yeah, in the weird Digibook limited edition packaging they did. I don't know if I would have collected these now, like, but I ended up picking these up when I was still kind of into picking up limited editions and stuff, so ended up basically collecting them all as a result of that. They do look pretty cool. I like the colour variants on them and stuff, and yeah, Attack on Titan, one of the greatest anime ever. I don't care if it is one of those things where some people look at it and go, oh, it's not cool because everyone likes it or something. I don't get. Attack on Titan is so freaking good. It's really living up to the hype. Anyway, we've got Beautiful Bones, Black Blood Brothers. Oh, Biohunter, that's another good OVA from the 90s I quite enjoy. Blast of Tempest, Blood. So we've got Blood, The Last Vampire, only on DVD. Should really get the Blu-ray for that, but it's super expensive. Long out of print. Blood Sea. I quite liked Blood Sea. It's not like as good as like Blood Plus or anything, but I thought it was actually okay. A lot of people didn't seem to like it, but I thought it was good. Blood Rain, Curse of the Yoma is a really good OVA as well. Chaos Hair, Corpse Princess, Cutie Honey collection. I think that's all that's available of Cutie Honey. So we've got the original series from the 70s, the OVA from the 90s, and then Cutie Honey Universe. Like all that's available on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff in English. Obviously there's Flash. Well, actually we're getting that RE Cutie Honey OVA from Discotheque soon, which is pretty cool. The Gainax one from the early 2000s. We've got Dance in the Vampire Bund. That's the Blu-ray part of the limited edition. I do own the limited edition, but I put it in storage. Just kind of got annoyed of it taking up, a whole extra DVD case of space on the shelf. So I just put the Blu-ray there. Whatever, I guess. It's annoying they never did like a normal standard edition. Like even the standard edition for Dance in the Vampire Bund comes in a DVD case for some reason, so I figured there's no point getting that version. I'll just put the Blu-ray there. Whatever, he didn't need to know that, I guess. Death Parade, Dead Man Wonderland, Death Note, Demon City Shinjuku, Demon Slayer, that's the UK version for the complete first series. I have not seen Demon Slayer yet, well overdue. I'm sure it's amazing. The hype around it seems pretty, well, hype. People really like that show. I really need to see it. It's long overdue to watch that one. But yeah, it's the limited edition, like, UK version. It's pretty similar to the Aniplex release in America. Anyway, then we got Devil Hunter Yoko, Devilman collections. We got the 70s series, then what's that? The OVA and Devil Lady, Doom Megalopolis with terrible video transfer on Blu-ray. It basically looks exactly the same as the old DVD. There's really no different, but whatever. The slipcover's cool and it saves a little bit of space on the shelf. Elfin Lied. I really need to return to Elfin Lied. I haven't seen it since it was like one of the first 10 anime I ever watched. So yeah, I haven't seen that series in over 15 years, I think. Had the Blu-ray for ages. Obviously, I originally watched it on DVD, and yeah, could really do with rewatching and returning to that one, I think. We've got Fairy Gone, that's the PA Works show that has really cool design and stuff to it. I don't know if it's actually going to be any good though. It doesn't seem to have the best ratings. But I don't know. I got the UK edition because it was way cheaper. Flying Phantom Ship is a film from the 60s. That's a ton of fun. Gantz, which I didn't really like, to be honest. Ghost Town, long overdue a watch on that one. I haven't seen that yet. Ghost Hunt is a really fun show. Ghost Sweeper Mikami is a series I need to watch as well. I haven't got to that yet. Gilgamesh, another one of those early shows I watched. I used to own it in the art box. Haven't returned to it yet, but it's got a really cool art style, really interesting ending. Yeah, I don't know if I'd enjoy it as much as I did back then necessarily. I've seen a lot of anime since then, but I enjoyed it at the time anyway. That's Hakaba Kataro. That's like a kind of like a part of the Gigigi. I can't remember. No Kataro, isn't it? I can't remember. That series that's had multiple entries from since the 60s. I think that's part of that. It's like a Noitomina show from like 2007 or something. Then we got my Hell Girl collection. That's seasons 1 through 3. Hellsing Ultimate. Obviously, I already showed you before. I got Hellsing up there, the original. And then we got my. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but that's Higurashi When They Cry. That's the Siren Visual releases of season 1 and 2. And then I've got the Blu-ray for. I can't really show it. When They Cry Ray, which is the OVA that from like 2008 or something. I got that on Blu-ray from Sentai because obviously that one is actually in proper HD, unlike the 2 seasons which were upscales. So I didn't upgrade those in the end. Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress was a lot of fun. It's basically Attack on Titan with trains. Kakaishi, I used to own the DVDs, got the Blu-ray now. King of Thorn was really good for like the first 30 minutes and then it fell off a cliff, somewhat literally. It's terrible. Chimera is an OVA from the 90s that I enjoyed that a lot of people don't. But I don't know, I thought it was okay. Le Chevalier Daon, Lunar Legend, Tsukihime. Can I kind of block a little bit? Yeah. I got Luke's Gyarados. Mars Red is a recent pickup that I really enjoy. It's like a vampire series set in like, I don't know, like the Taisho, isn't it? The period in Japan, like 1910s or something. It's really cool. Midnight Occult Civil Servants, Mirage Blaze, and then Mononoke, which I need to replace with the new Blu-ray that Discotheque have done. And then I need to rest my arm because it's about to fall off. Okay, I fitted with the white balance again. Yeah, in case it looks kind of different. We've got Parasite the Maxim in the corner over there. Pretty good show for the first half. I didn't enjoy the second half as much. Psychic Detective Yakumo is a really cool show. Rin Daughters and Nemesis, really awesome opening, but I did not like that OVA at all. Shigofumi, what's that, Letters from the Departed? I need to see that one. That one's been long on my overdue watch list or whatever. Shiki, it's a really crazy series that is just tons of fun. If you can find that one cheap, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Solely a show that I just feel like I should love and just don't quite love it. I need to rewatch it, I think. Tokyo Ghoul, Season 1, Season 2, and the 2 parts of Season 3. Tokyo Revelation, which I think is part of like the Persona, like Shin Megami maybe not Persona, but yeah, Shin Megami Tensei, I'm pretty sure. Ushiro and Tora, another one I've been meaning to get to. Vampire Hunter D, and Bloodlust. I love Bloodlust, one of my absolute favourite anime films. Vampire Princess Mew, TV and OVAs. Vampire Wars is really stupid but a lot of fun. Violence Jack on Blu-ray of all things. What a world we live in. Wicked City, I love that film as well. Big Kawajiri fan. Witch Hunter Robin, a series that aesthetically I love. The voice acting is amazing. The opening is an absolute classic, and the story is just not that good, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish I loved Witch Hunter Robin, but I just can't bring myself to do it. But I love pretty much everything else about it. Soundtrack, animation, voice acting, everything about it's amazing, apart from the actual story. Yu Yu Hakusho, a series I'm sure I would have loved if I watched it 10 years earlier than I did. I only watched that show a couple of years ago, and tournament anime just don't really work for me anymore because I just find them very predictable. But yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part. I just wish I watched it, 10 years earlier, and I think I would have loved it. Unfortunately, Zenki. I mean, this is a good point. Like, Zenki's not a great show. I'm sure it's probably way worse than Yu Yu Hakusho. But I actually really like Zenki, and that primarily the reason for that I think is I watched it really early on in my fandom, like within the first few years or something, and I just had a great time with it. I don't think I would nowadays. I don't think I'd enjoy that show at all nowadays. Well, at least with fresh eyes, if you will. I'm sure I would still enjoy it these days just because I liked it in the past. But yeah, so that's the supernatural horror stuff. Then we've got Jidai Geki, so yeah, like samurai, ninja, just anime themed on Japanese history in a way, but specifically samurai ninja stuff. There's supernatural stuff in here because most of those anime do have that as well, superpowery sort of stuff. But yeah, we've got Basilisk, Carried by the Wind, an absolutely brilliant show from the year 2000. We need that on Blu-ray. It's a cell animated series. I'd love to see that on Blu-ray. Has a Enka opening, which is pretty cool. Dororo, the 60s series, I think that's the only currently at the moment like uncut 1960s black and white anime. Black and white specifically, I'm saying here, like as being the only thing I think that's available in English, which is pretty cool, at least officially. Flame of Recca, I didn't like Flame of Recca. I don't get on with Studio Pero shows from the 90s. Again, probably just a case of not having watched it when I should have done. It's another show I watched only a few years ago and it just didn't work for me. Hakaden, the Dog Warriors, Kachoki is like the most Otome versions of like the Warring States period in Japan or something, but I kind of really love it. Like the Clouds, Like the Wind. I've not watched that one yet. Need to on Blu-ray. Nabari no O is a show I just wish I liked more. It's like modern day ninja clans. It's interesting. Ninja Scroll, another Kawajiri masterpiece. Um, Nobunaga the Fool. I've not watched that yet. I think that's got Mecha in it as well. Again, I apologise for the glare. I can't really do anything about it. It's just where the light is. Rurouni Kenshin, the TV series. Again, another show that I'm sure I would have liked more. I only watched it about 3 or 4 years ago at this point, and I just couldn't get into the TV series. I don't want to touch on like the controversy around the creator and all that, but I am sort of excited to see a remake of this series and seeing if it basically is something I like more than I did the original. But I can't remember which one of these it is. I think it's this one. Is this Trust and Betrayal? I think it is. Yeah, this will be Trust and Betrayal, which is absolutely incredible. The OVA for this Rurouni Kenshin is absolutely amazing. That I gave a 10 out of 10. Like, it's kind of crazy to think that I think the same company. No, maybe it was Matt. I can't remember actually. I can't remember if it was Pero that did this or Dean or something, and then Madhouse did this. I can't remember if it was the same studio. In retrospect, it might not have been actually, but yeah, it's amazing to think just how good Rurouni Kenshin could be, and it's kind of the strength of this OVA is why I'm sort of hopeful that the modern version might be even better than the original, but at the same time it's been done by Linden Films, who I don't think are the greatest studio, so who knows. We got an OVA simply titled The Samurai that ADV put out from the 80s. It's okay, not amazing. And then we got another one, I can't remember what it's called. Let's see, Hunt for the Sword Hunt for the Sword Samurai or something. Media Blast has put it out. I haven't watched that one yet. Samurai 7, not a good version of Akira Kurosawa's classic. It's so weird. It's just a weird mix of like sci-fi and classic samurai stuff. It's a weird adaptation. Like, it looks cool, I guess, but it's just weird. Samurai Champloo is a series that I need to rewatch. I felt like people hyped that one up so much that when I went into it, it was just never gonna meet my expectations. I don't know. It just didn't quite live up to the hype, or I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, but I feel like I would probably stand a better chance this time. Samurai Deeper Kyo, I literally finished today. Uh, I've heard that this was like a bad adaptation of the manga, and I've never read the manga, but yeah, it was not good, to be honest. I really wanted to enjoy it, but I really struggled. Yeah, the ending was kind of good, but the rest of it was kind of a drag. It kind of dragged. Anyway, Sengoku Pasara, based on the Capcom video games. I love that show. Really, really fun, done by Production IG. Just a ton of fun, like Warring States period thing. It's great. Shiguri Death Frenzy, super gory samurai fighting series from Madhouse. There's bits in that like just truly grossed me out, but it is animated exceptionally well. I believe it was Madhouse that did that one. Then we got Shura no Toki, Age of Chaos, which is about a guy who basically fights with his hands, kind of like Katana Gatari. I'm pretty sure he fights with only his hands, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then we got Sword for the Stranger, or Sword of the Stranger, sorry. That's a Bandai Blu-ray rather than the more modern Funimation one, or Crunchyroll one, I guess. Sword for the Truth, or Sword for Truth, which is really bad, and then Wrath of the Ninja. So yeah, that's the Samurai Ninja section. I do own Naruto and the like, but that's in my shonen boxes of hell over there. So anyway, here we got the sports stuff, if I can kind of get shadows out of the way. So we got Ahiro no Sora, basketball series, Aim for the Ace, Baki the Grappler. Big Wind Up is legitimately my favourite anime of all time. I came to this conclusion last year that despite my original favourite being Full Metal Alchemist, Forever and a Day, I don't know, a Big Wind Up just makes me so happy. It's just a baseball show, and it kind of flopped for Funimation, but I adore this series. I've seen it 5 or 6 times now, which is a lot for me to do rewatches because I have so much anime. Like, I don't do as many rewatches as I would like. There's always new stuff to try, so I go for a lot of that. But Big Wind Up is the thing that I just keep coming back to. It just keeps making me happy. It's my ultimate like perk me up anime. It just makes me, like I said, very very happy. It's just so fun. I love baseball anime a lot, and yeah, that one's by far my favorite. Oh god, this is really difficult because the shadow is atrocious. um, we've got Dive, Gymnastic Samurai. I picked that up just recently. Really enjoyed that show. Free Iwatobi Swim Club. I kind of really love that show. Haikyuu, another amazing anime. Hajime no Ippo. I love sports anime. That's the theme here, basically. They're amazing. Initial D. I also have racing stuff in here as well. Initial D, amazing. So that's all four of the original stages. And then I've got the remake like movies that take key parts of the original timeline and remade them in high definition, widescreen with terrible music. Um, I would really like for us to get the fifth stage and the final stage. It's like 17 or 18 episodes worth of content, and we would have all of Initial D. So, Discotheque Sentai, whoever, just please. Karate Master, Long Riders, Mixed Meisei Story, some recent pickup as well. Ping Pong Animation, Princess Nine, a baseball series from the 90s I haven't watched yet. Run with the Wind, I'm really looking forward to watching that, it's supposed to be really good. Speed Racer, this is the original dub only release, which I picked up before eventually getting the big head set. Obviously, like I said, this is only a English dub, so it's not really the version I want to watch. I've kept it because it's not really worth a lot, and the slipcover is so nice, so nice. Can I get that back in? Yep. And we got Suzuka, Taisho Baseball Girls, Tomorrow's Joe, which is the movie compilation of the first series of Ashita no Joe, which is like, I can't remember how many episodes, like 70 episodes or something, so it's kind of weird to have that all in one movie, but yeah, whatever. Surene, I really like that show. And then Yawamushi Pedal, that's all of what Discoteca put out so far. I think they're missing Season 4 and Season 5, so hopefully we get those soon. Although Season 5 may have only just finished airing, I think. And then Yuri on Ice. So yeah, that's the sports section. I do have a few more other titles, but yeah, this shelf is absolutely filled to the brim. So next we got the fantasy section. So got Havoc here as one of my favourite characters. That's why he's my YouTube avatar. Okay, I'm going to try and play with the shadow problem I'm having. It's not easy to deal with. Pretty cool stuff here. We've got Arion, which is an amazing film from Sunrise, based on Greek mythology. Berserk on Blu-ray, the original 1997 series. For some reason this hasn't come out in America, but it came out in Australia and the UK in English. So if you have a multi-region player, I highly recommend importing. It looks insane on Blu-ray, and it's still the best version of Berserk, although this trilogy, and I presume the Memorial Edition that's just finished airing, did a pretty good job of adapting the first arc of Berserk, the one that really the only one that matters in many ways. You'll notice I don't have Berserk 2016 or 2017. I have seen 2016. I still need to see the second one, Berserk 2017 or whatever, but I've yet to do so. What else have we got here? Dragon Age movie can be found really cheap if you like. If you quite enjoy CG animation and stuff, and you like fantasy, this movie's alright, and it's totally worth a couple of dollars if you can find it for that, which you probably can. Final Fantasy Unlimited, Former Alchemist section. So we got the collector's edition for the original series. That's from the briefcase set up there. And then we got the original movie, right? Yeah, Conquer Shambhala on Blu-ray and DVD, collector's edition. Then we got the original OVA. And we got the Funimation releases of Brotherhood, so all 5 parts. And then the movie, The Sacred Star of Milos. And then the OVA collection. It's still insane to me that, at least, I suppose, with the Aniplex releases, this is technically in print. I don't know if the Aniplex release comes with the movie or not. It just seems kind of crazy to me that the original Fullmetal Alchemist has been out of print for so long now. It's crazy for one of the most famous anime ever to be out of print. Although, obviously, the original is, well, a classic and so important in my anime life and many others. Like Brotherhood is obviously far superior, so at least there is a version of that out there somewhere. Fushigi Yugi, The Mysterious Play, well overdue watching that one. Gakudo I've heard great things about and relatively recently, so I'm quite happy to have that on DVD, 90s series. Gwyn Saga, Hakame and Mikochi, such a cute little show. Heroic Legend of Aslan, the original OVA, and then we got my collection of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls of a Dungeon, which is currently season 1, the Hot Spring thing, the movie, and then Sword Oratoria, which is like a spin-off. So I'm still missing seasons 2, 3, and 4. Although 4 I'm pretty sure is airing right now or something. Anyway, oh god, how do I deal with this darkness? I don't know. Okay, this sort of works. We got Kyo Caramel, which is awesome. Just upgraded those to Blu-ray, had the DVDs, I've sold those on. Kino's Journey, Kaiba over there. Land of the Lustrous is like one of my favourite shows ever. It's a fantastic series. Log Horizon is terrible. I'm sorry. Like, season 1 ends with like a massive cliffhanger and they don't address it in season 2, and then season 2 ends with a whole different sort of cliffhanger and then they don't address it in season 3. Log Horizon is ridiculous. I don't understand why it exists. It's stupid. I need to sell that. I think. Made in Abyss, which is really cool. I need the rest of that. There's quite a lot of it now. Moribito is a great series. That's the original Blu-rays. Mishishi, incredible. Nadia, The Secret Blue Water on Blu-ray, and then the terrible motion picture. The original Orphan release on Sentai, so that's the original series from the 90s. Overlord, Princess Arete, which is a Studio 4C film. I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation of that. Pumpkin Scissors, again on DVD. I have it in the art box, but I have this DVD because I got it cheap, and why not? I guess I love that show. It's great. Rage of Bahamut Genesis. I really want the second series for that. That series was so good, and then again, it's one of those things that was on Amazon like Psycho Pass, and it's just disappeared, and no one seems to care about it anymore, even though it was so good. Record of Lotus War, original OVA and TV series, amazing. Legend of Crystania, part of the same universe, but nowhere near as good. Romeo and Juliet from Gonzo from the mid-2000s, or 2007 I think. Absolutely unreal show. I absolutely love that show. I did watch it when I was having some real like health problems, and it sort of helped me get through that, so I have like a special place in my heart for it. But Romeo and Juliet, really enjoy that show. People need to give it a watch, I think. Scrap Princess, an absolute classic, one of my earlier favourite shows, and yeah, I love that series to this day. Sacred Blacksmith, we never got a Blu-ray for that, which is weird. And then my Slayers collection, so, oh, if I can get up here. So this is all the OVAs and movies, and then we've got the first 2 seasons, which you can't see. There we go. And then we got the 3rd series and the more modern ones on DVD. I heard originally that the Blu-rays for these were upscales, so I went for these DVDs. But I'm not sure the Blu-rays were upscales, and I kind of regret not picking those up. But I don't know, it's what happened, I guess. Spice and Wolf, really cool series. My Tales of anime collection, which needs greatly to be expanded. I love the Tales of games. But yeah, at the moment that's all I have. Tagami Letterbees, a series I need to get to. Looks really cool. Those Who Hunt Elves, a really funny fantasy series from the 90s. 12 Kingdoms, the original Blu-rays. Really love that show. Wolf's Reign, and then a couple of more recent ones. I picked up The Wonderful Adventures of Niels, I wouldn't even bother pronouncing it, Holgersson? It's like based on a Swedish, I think. Like kids book or something. The opening for this is amazing. Not watched it yet. And then The Wonderful Wizard of Oz as well, the anime original Japanese version. And then Ease OVAs on DVD. And then this is just like where stuff fits at the moment. This is stuff I didn't want to put in a box, specifically because I haven't finished the 2011 version yet. But yeah, so we've got the one of the Fist of the North Star movies, the most recent one, and then the original one. I got all the DVDs for the TV series as well. And yeah, all of Hunter x Hunter 2011. I've only seen the first 50 episodes, so I think that's the first 3 box sets, so I need to get the rest. And then we've got the original 90s Hunter x Hunter, which is really awesome to get. I got these just as they were going out of print. The unboxing I did for that on my channel was like my most popular video. So yeah. So I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to try and get through this a lot quicker now. if I can. So yeah, this is now my superhero, superpower sort of shows and stuff. So stuff that's kind of based on the whole Super Sentai like Tokusatsu type thing as well. So yeah, Birdie the Mighty, pretty cool. Bungo Stray Dogs, I've not seen yet. Kashan, all of what's available. You need the OVA on Blu-ray, I think. Cyborg 009. Daiichi's Earth Defense Family, really enjoyed that. It's really cool, and we need to. I need a re-release. They've got All-Purpose Cultural Girl, Cat Girl Nuku Nuku, just hanging up there because there's no space for it. Darker Than Black, that's got the second series on Blu-ray in it, as well as the original series on DVD as well. Garo Zero, all of Garo, the anime stuff. I love Garo as an anime. I've seen the first series of like the live action one as well as some of the specials that Kraken Releasing put out. Yeah, and then we got all of Gatchaman that's available. I think that actually might literally be everything Gatchaman. I don't think there is any other Gatchaman actually. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Guyver over there, and then move this chair along. We got Harmageddon. It's actually pretty cool, to be honest. I would like the Blu-ray to come over. What else? My Hero Academia, up to season 3, and I've got the first half of season 4, and then I kind of fell off collecting. I don't know, there's just so much of it, I don't know if I can keep up, so don't know what I'm going to do with those in the future, but for now at least I've stopped collecting My Hero, even though it's a great show. I've only seen up to season 3, but I've enjoyed it so far. I've heard mixed things about the subsequent seasons, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. So Project A-ko, 1, 2 and 3 amazing Blu-rays from Discotek. I do have season 1 of One Punch Man for some reason. I hated that show, one of the few in the world it felt like that did. Just didn't find it funny at all. But I ended up picking that up because it was so cheap here in the UK, and I was just like, just in this eternal frustration of like, everyone else seems to like the show and I don't know why, kinda. So I don't know, I picked it up on maybe on the hopes of giving it a rewatch in the future, I don't know. Read or Die, Aniplex of America release, which I have on sale on eBay for a ridiculous price, because apparently it can go for ridiculous prices, so I'm in no rush to sell it, but if someone's willing to pay me crazy prices for it, then they can have it, I guess. And I'll use that money elsewhere, because I do own it on DVD already as well, so it's not a problem really. We got Tiger and Bunny. I recently got a double-decker, was it Doug and Carell or something, the spin-off season as well. Tiger and Bunny season 2 is on Netflix, isn't it, or something? I need to see that. Tokyo Esper, Windy Tales, Exam Lost Memories is a pretty rare Blu-ray these days. I love that show. Okay, so yeah, that's the superpower stuff. That's a lot of noise that chair just made. I'm going to stop and fiddle with the white balance again. Okay, so this is romance, shoujo. This is one of the sections where I don't really know what to do with it. It's just it's just stuff that sort of fits together. So yeah, we got Anohana the movie, Oh My Goddess collection, the first 2 seasons of Chi Hirofuru, Clannad, Dear Brother, Great Passage is a really great series. I have a really great vocabulary as well. Hana Yori Dango, Honey and Clover, Kimiguri Orange Road is amazing. Kokoro Connect, Lovely Complex is great. Marmalade Boys, the original Tokyo Pop releases. I really need to get the Discotek standard def Blu-ray, it would save so much space. Midori Days, I absolutely love Midori Days. And then we got Millennium Actress, My Love Story, and then Mysterious Girlfriend X hiding there in the corner. This show is kind of gross, but I actually really liked it. It's a really good show. The soundtrack to Mysterious Girlfriend X is one of my absolute favourites in anime history. It's so good. I wish it was available on proper CD. You can only get it via the limited editions Blu-rays in Japan, which is annoying. Nana, the original DVDs, really great show. Just a shame it was never finished. Nichijou, I need to see that show. Been meaning to for a long time. Nadame Cantabile. This is the original like Korean release, I think, but it comes with like English dub support and English subtitles. The dub was even made in America The license was owned by Sony, and they basically went through the process of dubbing it, releasing it in Asia, and then just not bringing it out anywhere else, like in America and stuff. It just seems bizarre to me, but whatever. Princess Jellyfish, such a great show. I love Princess Jellyfish, it's so funny. Rose of Versailles, and we got my Tenchi Muyo collection, so we got the OVA, yeah, both the OVAs and the Ryo-Oki, like third OVA from the early 2000s, Tenchi Universe, the movies, and then Tenchi in Tokyo. Obviously I'm missing things like War on Gemini and things like that, but in GXP. For some reason, there is actually like two more Tenchi Muyo OVAs, a part 4 and a part 5, that came out like 5 years ago, and for some reason they've not been licensed, and I don't really get why. Tenchi Muyo is like a staple of anime in the West. At least it was once upon a time, so it seems weird that it's not been licensed. Anyway, we got some magical girl stuff just chilling here in the corner. We got 4 seasons of Sailor Moon on DVD. These are Australian DVDs that use the original, at least for the first 3 seasons. I think they use the Italian DVDs as their source or something. So yeah, they're like the best looking versions, at least on DVD. Yeah, so I got those, and then I don't think I'll be going for the Blu-rays. I don't know. Probably not. The original Blu-rays that Viz put out were awful, but the newer ones they're doing based on the Japanese Blu-ray aren't too bad. But I don't know. But anyway, these also include the Viz dub and everything, so yeah, these are a good way to go in my opinion. I just need season 5, and then obviously I'll get the movies from Viz Media because those have proper HD transfers. And then we've got Wedding Peach, which is like a Sailor Moon clone. It's kind of crazy how similar the plot is, but yeah, I've not seen Wedding Peach, but that's both collections that contain all the TV series plus the OVAs. And then we have some real problems here. I have a lamp here, does that help any? Sort of. Yeah, so apologies for the glare, but this should help a little bit, I think. So yeah, this is my comedy section. We got Baka and Test is a really, really funny comedy. The Attack on Titan comedy is not very good. I can't remember what it's called, like Junior High Attack on Titan, I can't remember. But yeah, Baka and Test is a really, really funny show. Cromartie High School is hilarious. We've got Cat Soup with the oh, I just turned the lamp off. There we go. We got Cat Soup with like the original like squeeze bloody like slipcover thing, which doesn't really work very well these days since it's like over 20 years old, I think. We'll get in there, but yeah. Anyway, Devil is a Part-Timer is a show I wanted to like and just didn't. Detroit Metal City is fun. The Gokusen is a really good series. Ghost Stories has obviously got the hilarious dub, which is why it's in this section rather than the other section, like Supernatural or something. Golden Boy, Great Teacher Onizuka, Hataraki Man is a really good show. It's like a drama show. I'm not sure why that's in my comedy section. That should probably be in here in romance. I don't know how it ended up down here. Anyway, Hate the Combat Butler being glared out there. Homes of Kyoto is another one that's not really a comedy. I don't know how that's happened, but whatever. Zoki's Cool Headedness, K-On!, Keiko Carmen, the Japanese and English version of Samurai Pizza Cats, a Lucky Star OVA, since I obviously have the box set as well. Miss Machiko, Magical Shopping Arcade, Abanabashi is really good. Nier Under 7 is a really, really good series. Anarcha 6/17 is like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's not amazing, but I enjoyed it back then anyway. I wish I could get a white balance on this camera that just changes on the fly. Like it's just a disaster otherwise. Anyway, No Game No Life there. Outlanders, pretty hard to find OVA that's really funny from the 80s. Servant Service, one of my other rare Aniplex of America releases I've got in my collection. I really like that show, just wish I had a Blu-ray. But it's a really funny show. Oh yeah, I've got Prefectural Earth Defense Force, which has to be one of the rarest DVDs in my entire collection, if not close to the rarest. Look it up. This thing is in crazy expensive. It cost me a lot of money, and that was like 10 years ago. I mean, occasionally someone will be selling it for cheap, for sure, but most of the time it's going to cost you a lot of money. School Rumble, that's the first and second season and the OVA set. The spine, a little bit of shelf wear, but looks okay. The rest of this release though, like the guy who sent this to me basically like etched in the address on the front cover because he used a real crappy packaging for this, and it is sun bleached to all hell on the other side. But I do have it all. The DVDs all work, so that's good. It didn't cost a lot, so. Sergeant Frog, those are the Funimation DVDs. I need to get the Discotheque Standard Def Blu-rays. I can't believe we're going to be getting all of Sergeant Frog. It's a crazy timeline we're living in. Space Dandies, a show that seems to have just been forgotten, which is a shame because it was really, really good. Tokyo Godfathers, Satoshi Kon's masterpiece. One Dabura Style is a really funny show that most people seem to overlook. Watamote is another show that seems a little bit more forgotten these days, but that was a massive comedy hit when it came out. Yakitate Japan, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's the bread making show from Sunrise. I liked it at first, but it's very shonen and kind of over the top. We have Yu Shiki, and then there's just some random stuff I don't really have a place for, sort of like stuff that would fit in like a drama section or something. We've got like Angel Beats, Barakamon, Flowers of Evil, Kabuki Boo, which is a really good show. Silver Spoon, which is amazing. Desert Punk, in and out of its tin for some reason. I don't know when I did that. Being lazy, apparently. Okay, final shelf down here. Just my Studio Ghibli collection. These are all the UK releases, and then I've got a couple of American ones as well, just because I tend to watch most of my stuff on American Blu-ray players, so I got some of my favourites on the American releases to go with the UK ones that I have already. So, Prince Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, Laputa, pretty much my three favourite Studio Ghibli movies I've got twice. But yeah, this is pretty much complete. I don't think there's anything missing. I can't remember. But yeah, like, got all the movies plus the Red Turtle plus the Ronja Robbers, the Robber's Daughter, and then the Earwig and the Witch as well, and then a couple of documentaries and stuff. There are more documentaries now available for like Miyazaki stuff. I don't know what's on top there, Twilight of the Cockroaches, and then I've just got some random anime films. I don't really know where else to put them, so they're kind of just chilling here at the moment, like Unico and Sea Prince and the Fire Child, some classics like Night in the Galactic Railroad and stuff. So yeah, and I've got some more of them here, as well as a random copy of Welcome to the Ballroom Collection 1. But yeah, Cleopatra, Thousand One Nights. I couldn't stand that film. It was so long. Took an age to get through that. Wolf Children, A Journey Through Fairyland. That one's Your Name, which I've still not watched, ridiculously. Had it for a long time now. And then the last final shelf, we've got my aviation collection, if you will. I really like aviation anime. My dad's really into planes. I didn't think it would rub off on me. Like, I have no real interest in like real world planes, but I just love stories about jet fighters and jet pilots and stuff. And just aviation stories in general. I don't know why. It really appeals to me. Probably from my dad, I guess. I don't know. So I've got Air Bats. That's Addison and Lilia there, and then we've got Air 88, which is my favourite. One of my favourite anime ever made, my favourite OVA for sure. And then we've got the 2004 TV series, Barefoot Gang, Cluster's Edge. I like aviation anime, okay? I caved in and bought Girly Air Force. I don't imagine it's good, but whatever. Then we've got the second season of Last Exile. I own the series on multiple DVD art boxes as well. I want to get the Blu-ray for the original series, but yeah, I like the second series. It's not great, but I did enjoy it. God, we've got 3 minutes left. Okay, Magnificent Kotobuki. I'm really looking forward to watching that one. Sound of the Sky is really cool. That's like a war thing though, but I just put it in here because it's like military themed. And then Yukikaze. And then we've got my Taku section. So just anime that kind of themed around the Taku culture, anime fan culture, and the like. So yeah, Comic Party, Genjiken, the wonderful Genjiken, amazing series. Melancholy of Haruhi, which is sort of a Taku theme. I don't know. It's just one. It was just a good place to put it. New Game, Orimo, Season 1, Shirobako, Takino Video, Animego, Kickstarter release, and then Welcome to the NHK. So here's some other stuff I've got that's just in random places. We got the UK Kill la Kill set on Blu-ray, along with my Zatoichi Blind Swordsman Criterion release and Steven Universe 1 through 4 on Blu-ray, and then These are just my Marvel movies, whatever, some 80s and 90s animated films, Disney stuff, Game of Thrones steelbooks, some Asian films, Seven Samurai, Lone Wolf and Cub, Sanjuro, Samurai Trilogy is a really cool film. Kurosawa's Ran is amazing. Anyway, and I'm never probably going to get a chance to talk about this. This is a French film, Delicatessen. Really, really cool. Not enough people have seen it. It's amazing, from the 90s. Anyway, there's some Bruce Lee and House of Fire, not House of Fire, House of Flying Daggers and stuff. Anyway, this is what I'm meant to be showing you. So yeah, I got Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball, some Pokemon stuff, a random limited edition part 1 of Cinnamon Crystal. Those are the cases for the original cases for Stelvia down there, if I can get the camera down properly without all the shadows. I don't know if you can see that. And then we've got the One Piece collections that are all just here because I just don't have any room for them anywhere else. So yeah, up to 27, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm falling quite far behind now. There's like 5 I don't have, which is not good. And yeah, I have a couple of the films and just some random stuff. More random stuff. These are like art box. That's the Hellsing Ultimate art box, and that's the Robotic Notes one. Some stuff I'm probably going to sell soon. My Game Boy Pocket from when I was a kid. A Mushishi, a copy of Mushishi I need to sell. My X-Men DVDs, which I love. A couple more random anime, Frozen for some reason. Doctor Stone. There's some of the shonen stuff that I just don't have space for, so it's just here for now. Dr. Slant, the Fist and North Star DVDs I mentioned, and then all of Dragon Ball Z. And the orange bricks, because it's what I collected. I regret it. I had the opportunity to buy the Dragon boxes. It was when I was collecting these, for some reason I started with the orange boxes, orange bricks, and I just stuck with it. So yeah, anyway, let's move on to those boxes of hell, I guess. And now we're on to my shame. we're in my bedroom because I put these boxes back. Obviously the battery was running out, so this is the day after. But yeah, so these are back in my bedroom now. But yeah, it's just random stuff that I just don't have space for. It's stuff that I might sell in the future. But yeah, this is my shame. I have too much anime, guys. Like, it's insane. I am currently trying to sell this one, Strange Love, some random volumes of Ronin Warriors. El Cazador de la Braga, 00901, Guilty Crown Art Box, Glass Maiden, My, DVD of Horus Prince of the Sun, the original, well not the original, the second edition of Destroy All Monsters on Blu-ray without the special features, like the commentary tracks and stuff, because, I don't know, there's a whole story that, who anyone cares, they already know. Plastic Little, Brian Hilder in the Darkness, made by the same guy who made Elfin Lead, Appleseed on the DVD Steelbook and the original manga OVA release, Blade and Phantom Master, Night Hunters, Perfect Blue on DVD, Superman Deca, Black Rock Shooter, Ichi the Killer, a bunch of random leaflets and booklets that somehow got misplaced from the sets that they were in, and I don't know what sets they're meant to return to, so I don't know, Votons, standard definition Blu-rays, the original releases. Yeah, I'm trying to sell these because I've got the complete collection, and at some point I'll probably sell that and get proper Blu-rays if they ever come out. Okay, let's move on to the next. Actually no, there's a whole nother row. Okay, let's actually get these out of the way and look at the other row, I guess. I swear I'm not a hoarder, I promise. That's that other edition of Galaxy Angel Yuna I think I mentioned. Can't decide which one to keep. Someday Dreamers, Mole Diver, Black Cat, everything's upside down, can't really do anything about it. Can't even read that. Welcome to Pierre Carrot, Colourful, whatever that is, Nasho no Tsuboni or something. Some OVA that Sentai put out. Some random volumes and OVAs and TV series and stuff, and then just some more random stuff I just don't have space for. Stuff I don't like. Most of the stuff I want to keep, it's just having the room for it. Again, I need more shelving. Nazca complete series, pretty cool. Charles Pop Session, Flame Angel Cop DVD. Forgot I even had that. Evangelion DVDs. Fate Stay Night. The Disney release of My Neighbor Totoro with the old dub on it. Joe vs. Joe. Random edition of volume of Ground Defense Mail Jam. Oedo Rocket and Ringing Bell from Discontech. So yeah, that's that. I also have a bunch of like Hibernate Renmei pencil boards. I seem to have duplicates. At some point I must have had, I don't know how this happened, but I've got like duplicates of like a lot of these pencil boards. I don't know. Okay, next box. Okay, so here we got my Saint Seiya collection on the ADV DVDs and the Discotheque release of Lost Canvas, Toriko, what Funimation put out, and then my Naruto stuff. So we've got the movies, or at least some of the movies. Those are the first 4 box sets of Shippuden, sorry. Shippuden. Naruto, boxes 1 through 8, so the complete original series and the movie trilogy on DVD. I don't know how much of this I have to show really. It's like Shippuden DVDs, basically, tons of volumes of that, and I think the rest of it is, I'm gonna have to pause and do this, whatever. It's just more Shippuden. You can't really see it. It's Bleach is under there. Oh, I guess I'll move some of these else out of the way as well. Yeah, so it's just my Bleach collection, which is not complete, but yeah. That's what's underneath there. I got boxes 1 through 5. I'm missing box 9 for some reason. And I think it goes up to like box 18 or something, but I'm missing like 1 or 2 of the others as well. Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. That's my Bleach collection. And then at the bottom we got a box that I don't honestly feel there's really any need to show, but this is a box of just, if I can keep the lids open, which I can't. No, there we go. This is a box that's just filled with like old random volumes, a couple of releases I had to replace, old UK editions of stuff I've got that I've just been really lazy and not sold. So like, there's the UK version of Heat Guy J, I have the American version. Advent Children I now own on Blu-ray. UK version of Darker Than Black for no reason, a random volume of Last Exile, like another edition of Fullmetal Alchemists, like part 3 of Brotherhood because I replaced it. And part 2 because mine got a crease on it, and I found someone selling a cheap copy of part 2 without a crease, so I decided to fix that and buy that. The first part of Corpse Princess, just, you know, lots of random stuff. A lot of stuff I used to buy in like bundles and stuff. It's kind of all the same underneath. I don't really feel the need to show it all, to be honest. It's just, yeah, it's just some older releases, stuff I've watched, stuff I just don't have space for, and things like that, stuff I'm looking to replace. Yeah, it's just a real big random mess of stuff. Nothing really that interesting, so yeah, that's that entire box, which I still don't really know what to do with, but there we go. And finally we got this box, which is my greatest shame of all, I think, because it's not the least bit sorted out. It's just all been kind of put in here. Like, I've got, I don't know, all my older Pat Labor Blu-rays, which I want to keep. I would have been displaying them until just recently, but as you saw, my Mecha shelf is like completely full. So, my old copy of Evangelion 2.22 without the slipcover, my old One Piece Voyages on DVD, there's tons of those. I got all the way up to like season 5. We got Redline on Blu-ray. Oh, this is so shameful. Immortal Grand Prix on DVD from Discotheque, I got really cheap on in the UK. Air Gear, the complete series. There's the Advent Children on Blu-ray I was talking about. Yumero Patisserie. All sorts of random stuff. The Wallflower on DVD, part 1 and 2. One of the Bleach movies, in fact 2 of the Bleach movies, I think. Yeah, 2 of the Bleach movies. Can't remember which one's the first 2, I think. More One Piece Voyages. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple and stuff, and then as we keep going further down, we have in the dark there just some older DVDs and Blu-rays, basically, and OVAs that I just don't have space for at the moment. So yeah, Grenadier, Project Echo, Labyrinth of Flames, Earthian. Most of these I've watched, like all of those there I've seen, like, so that's the other part, like the ones I've watched are the ones I try and make sure to put out here the most at least. There's probably a few here that I haven't seen yet. Beyond the Boundary, my old copy of Appleseed 13 with the busted slipcover. I got a replacement for that relatively recently. Fractale art box, I just put the Blu-ray in the main collection. Level 1.1 of DBZ, I got this really cheap because obviously it didn't come with a slipcover and stuff, and I thought I just want to see, because I know this is like obviously the proper version that had like the film grain intact. Why didn't Funimation just keep releasing this version? Oh, such a shame. It looks amazing, but yeah, I picked this up because I just wanted to know. I wanted to have like a proper version of it on the shelf and just see what could have been. So I picked this up when someone was selling it cheap. Ninja Slayer, Sakura Wars the movie, Banana, the Michiko and Hatchin art box, which has 2 of the DBZ movies in it for some reason. There's my old Fighting Spirit DVDs. I've got the Blu-rays now, obviously. Cyber Formula GPX. This has Blu-ray in Japan. I'd love to see Discotek release that whole franchise, frankly. It's cool. What we got here? Rumbling Hearts. And Junkers Come Here. All Around the High School Host Club on DVD. Some more One Piece Voyages. Plenty of those to go around. I just don't know what to do with them. I know I should get rid of them. I don't know who's going to buy them off me though, and like I don't want to sell them for nothing because they cost so much to buy. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, to be honest. Fighting Spirit, Ghost Talker's Daydream, Wild Cards, Tenchi Voyages or something, more Hajime no Ippo, random copy of Bucky O'Hare, one of the coolest cartoons ever. Angel Sanctuary, Amon Saga, Dark Side Blues, Dark Cat, Hide and Seek, Judge, which is weird. Highlander on DVD, actually I have a Blu-ray for that, which is pretty rare, the French copy on Blu-ray. Sin the Motion Picture, and Himawari 2, missing the first season, unfortunately. There's only one side of this box that we haven't looked at, and it's got all that stuff piled on it, so give me a sec. Okay then, so the final part, that's the TV special for Fighting Spirit. Some of the Sakura Wars OVAs, another random volume of Fighting Spirit. They were in here all neatly at one point, and then at some point that just all changed, I guess. Welcome to Arabu's Office, Cinderella Boy. That's the short that won the Academy Award for Best Short Animation. It's like an anime, and it doesn't need English subtitles or anything. It's like basically just music, so I ended up getting that on DVD at one point. Rescue Me Maeve-chan, which is part of Yukikaze, I think. Eyes or something, a weird OVA. More Fighting Spirit. Gene Shaft, Anime Legends Complete Collection. Hikai J, as I mentioned. And twice. That's just dust, it looks worse than it was. Miami Guns, unfortunately really some Bleach Volume 2 there, and a really I think this is brand new and sealed. This is Area 88, Blue Skies of Betrayal. This is the uncut version of Volume Episode 1 that Central Park Media put out back in the day. It's got a horribly sun-bleached cover, but yeah, it's still brand new and sealed. Obviously it's peeling and stuff, but yeah, never opened. I don't even remember why I picked this up. I think someone was just selling it on here in the UK for like a few pounds, and I, as a big Area 88 fan, just couldn't resist, so I picked it up for some reason. I have a sickness. Sakura Wars OVAs again, and Sakura Wars TV series, and yeah, in case you didn't see this stuff earlier, Fighting Spirit, Ultraviolet, of Princess Rain or whatever, original version of Vampire Hunter D, Haunted Junction, Little Mermaid, Battle Skipper, Madonna, and Debutante Detective Court, and I'm pretty sure that's everything, so let's go back to the main room and finish this video, I guess. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything. In the future, because I actually have like loads of wall space. Like my bedroom is basically empty. It's got those boxes of DVDs in it, a bed, and like a small cupboard, and that's basically it. I've got loads of space in there if I want to expand, but I don't really want to. I mean, it would become kind of ridiculous at some point. No one needs this many DVDs or Blu-rays. But in terms of my shonen stuff, I have this big wall space here with nothing on it apart from some Havoc poster, random Spice and War. I think that's like from the filler box from the limited edition or something I just put on the wall like about 10 years ago, and it's still there. And then this really awesome Pachinko Galaxy Express Maytel flag thing. Anyway, so yeah, I want to like redecorate the walls in here and everything. It's all from years and years and years and years ago. Like I figured that I got all this space, I want to put shelves on this wall, and then yeah, I'll have loads more room to put a lot of the shonen stuff in the future. So I'm not too worried about having all those boxes, even though it looks like hoarding. It's like I have room to display it in this room especially, so it's not too big a deal, although there's certainly stuff I could probably, you know, live without, as you probably noticed. So yeah, that's the oh shit, no, god damn it, there's art boxes behind all of these things. Okay, we're not done, we're still not done. Crap. Okay, let's go, let's look at those. I guess I might as well done everything else. Just when we thought the hoarding was done, it's never done apparently. These are my old Erica 7 art boxes. I have all like the big boxes, like collector's edition volume things that came with like the t-shirts and manga and CDs inside as well. They're in my hallway cupboard. I won't be getting those out there, too deep in there. But anyway, so I got those, still got this on DVD. One of my favourite shows ever. I like those art boxes. Again, one day I'd like to properly display them. Rumiko Takahashi, the anthology in the art box, really fun series. Episode 2 of that about the wedding hall. One of my favourite Rumiko Takahashi things ever. I wish she'd made a whole series based on just that, because obviously these are all based on short stories that she did. Yeah, that second episode with the wedding hall, I adore that episode. It's so funny. You can just get, it's like pure Maison de Koku sort of vibes. It's so good. Ghost Slayers Ayashi. It's like the limited edition thing. A second copy of Last Exile in exactly the same art box I have up top. As you can see, and then I've got this version, which is like the Range Murata edition. He was like the character designer again. Probably butchered his name, but yeah, this is a nice art box. I originally bought this because I sold my original copy of Last Exile, and then I ended up buying it apparently twice since then. So I've basically spent money on this exact art box 3 times because I am an idiot. Okay, we have. Oh yeah, these are like the Pat Labor special, like Bandai limited collector's editions of the movies. So that's the first one, and then the second one, and then we've got Real Bout High School. I think that's like a Tokyo Pop release, I'm pretty sure. The one cool thing about Tokyo Pop releases is their art boxes super sturdy, just like the Media Blasters ones were. Like, if you want a really good condition art box, yeah, Tokyo Pop and Media Blasters really had you covered. Like, they really went above and beyond. These things are pretty sturdy. So yeah, still 2 more shelves of stuff to move out of the way, so let's keep going. Okay, so there's a whole number shelf. We've got the lamp like shining directly on it. So Infinite Revias, really cool samurai show from like 1999. I really enjoy that series. Basically about a bunch of kids who find themselves like on a giant like spaceship where all the adults basically get killed and all the kids survive. So they basically have to basically come up with their own mini society on this ship despite all being teenagers and stuff. It's really cool. There's more to it than that. It's probably a bad description of it, but whatever. Then we've got Scried, which stupidly I used to have this exact art box, sold it with the meaning of buying like a smaller compact complete collection. Never got around to doing that. Then Discotheque and that said we're going to do a Blu-ray. Thought I was going to buy that. Saw the Blu-ray, wasn't too sure about it, although now I'm thinking I might be okay with it. But it didn't have the like smeary line detail like Q-Tech thing like I talked about with Stelvia and stuff, and it just wasn't looking that great. Anyway, and then I saw someone selling this art box for cheap, and I was like, oh, I've never had Scried in the art box, and they're selling it for really cheap. Okay, I'll buy it. And then second it arrived, I was like, no, I've totally had this before. You stupid idiot! Why have you bought it again? I don't know. Neo Ranga in the art box, really cool series from 1999. Really enjoy that one. It's basically a kaiju series. It's really cool. Excel Saga, the Imperfect Collection. Really cool to have that. Licensed by Royalty, that's the second time I've owned that art box. I used to have it and I traded it with someone to get Blue Gender, the complete set that you saw earlier, which is a fantastic trade because I loved Blue Gender and didn't like Licensed by Royalty very much. The only reason I had bought it again was that I was weak on eBay. I think someone was selling it for like £8 with postage in in the art box. I was just like, that's just like no money whatsoever for this series. Fine, whatever, I'll buy it. Hoarders be hoarding, I guess. The hoarding never ends. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Anyway, and then we got Read or Die. So this is weird because I have like the book. I actually don't know where that is, but they did like a release with one of these volumes that came with like a book that you could put all the discs in. Obviously, I have it on Blu-ray as well, but I have all the discs, but I have the art box without volume one. I bought this second hand, and for some reason, this is how it came. It came with like the disc digibook thing or whatever with all the discs in, and then it came with the cases for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7, but it didn't come with the case or the insert for the first volume, so I'm going to need to buy the first volume again at some point, and then the UK version of the OVA is just sat in there. Textualize, this is a pretty cool series, and then you can't really see it, see if I can shine this around a bit, it's all glaring, that's Legend of the Dragon Kings, you can kind of see it there. I'll just pull it out, whatever. There you go, Legend of the Dragon Kings, a Dezuki OVA, 12 episodes, running time's actually about 24 in length, the 45-minute episodes. It's not very good, I didn't like it at all. It has a terrible ending, and the animation's pretty bad. It's got Dan Green as the main character though, so you can have your Yu-Gi-Oh fun with that. One more shelf, and then we definitely are done, so let's get on to that. Okay, then to finish off, we've got Kamichu in the art box. I don't think I've shown this one. I picked this up a couple of years ago now. Wanted it for years and years and years, but could never find it at a cheap price. It's a really nice art box. Comes with like a slip cover, and it's got really nice art on it. And I really enjoyed this series as well. It's like this weird series where this main girl here, I'm pretty sure it's this character who can like see yokai and stuff. She ends up basically becoming a god, just a literal god herself, and yeah, it's all about her becoming the local like goddess for her little like fishing village and stuff. It's really cool. Then we've got Peacemaker, Melody of Oblivion, Star Ocean EX, Salty Ray, Ayori Arashi, I'm pretty sure is what that is. If we can get around the glare, there we go. And then finally we have X with all the slipcovers. This is a pretty nice edition of Clamps X 1999 or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, and yeah, all the volumes come with these really nice slipcovers that have like this faux leather effect on them. It's a really cool set. And I guess since I don't have a Laserdisc player anymore, but I've got this is the Desert Island special from Maison Koku. Is that everything that's there? Yeah, and then we've got Wannabes. This has English subtitles. This is actually an American release. So it's an OVA that Central Park Media put out, but never put it out on DVD. But yeah, it's like a wrestling OVA. I got this one because it has Kenichi Sonoda character designs and stuff. And then I've got Street Fighter 2, the movie. For random reasons, I own these on Laserdisc and don't really know what to do with them anymore, so whatever. So yeah, that's this Steins Gate like freaking limited edition mouse mat I got, which got absolutely destroyed through use. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, so that's my collection for 2023. Hopefully the next time we do this, everything will look way cooler on a better display. So yeah, I'm Blaze. Thank you for watching. Don't hoard, children. Don't hoard.